When calculating conduit fill, the question arises whether standard fill percentage is applied to conduit nipples or if an exception exists. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for conduit fill to ensure proper heat dissipation and prevent conductor damage. Understanding these guidelines is crucial for safe and compliant electrical installations. Generally, the NEC specifies maximum fill percentages for conduits based on the number of conductors they contain. For a single conductor, the maximum fill is 53%. For 2 conductors, it's 31%, and for 3 or more conductors, the maximum fill is 40%. These percentages refer to the cross-sectional area of the conductors relative to the internal area of the conduit. However, the NEC recognizes that certain short sections of conduit, known as nipples, may be exempt from these strict fill requirements. A conduit nipple is defined as a short section of conduit not exceeding 24 inches in length. The NEC permits a higher fill percentage for nipples under specific conditions, outlined primarily in NEC section 314.16 A3 for boxes and conduit bodies. This exception acknowledges that the limited length of a nipple allows for better heat dissipation, reducing the risk of overheating and conductor damage. According to NEC section 314.16 A3, a conduit nipple not exceeding 24 inches in length and containing conductors of sizes number 4 or larger can be filled up to 60% of its cross-sectional area. This allowance applies only when the nipple is connected to boxes or conduit bodies, and is intended to facilitate easier wire pulling in tight spaces. It's important to note that this 60% fill allowance is not a universal rule for all nipples. It's specifically tied to nipples connected to boxes or conduit bodies and containing conductors of number 4 or larger. If the nipple contains smaller conductors or connects to equipment other than boxes or conduit bodies, the standard fill percentages apply. Furthermore, some jurisdictions may have local amendments or interpretations of the NEC that affect the application of these rules. It's always advisable to consult with local electrical inspectors or authorities to ensure compliance with the prevailing regulations. To determine the correct approach for calculating conduit fill for nipples, you need to consider several factors. Firstly, the length of the nipple. Secondly, the size of the conductors. Thirdly, the type of equipment the nipple connects to. If the nipple is 24 inches or less in length and contains conductors of number 4 or larger, and it connects to boxes or conduit bodies, the 60% fill allowance may apply. In this case, you can calculate the total cross-sectional area of the conductors and ensure it does not exceed 60% of the internal area of the conduit. However, if any of these conditions are not met, the standard fill percentages for conduits must be followed. This means limiting the conductor fill to 53% for a single conductor, 31% for 2 conductors, or 40% for 3 or more conductors. It's crucial to use the appropriate conduit fill tables provided in the NEC to determine the maximum number of conductors allowed in a given conduit size. These tables take into account the conductor size, insulation type, and conduit type to ensure accurate calculations. In situations where the conduit fill is close to the maximum limit, it's often advisable to upsize the conduit to provide more space for the conductors. This can make wire pulling easier, reduce the risk of conductor damage, and improve heat dissipation. Additionally, consider using pulling lubricants to reduce friction and make the installation process smoother. When working with conduit nipples, it's essential to follow proper installation techniques to ensure a safe and reliable electrical system. This includes properly reaming the cut ends of the conduit to remove any sharp edges that could damage the conductors, using appropriate fittings and connectors to create secure connections, and supporting the conduit according to the NEC requirements. Failure to follow these practices can lead to conductor insulation damage, short circuits, and other electrical hazards. In summary, the calculation of conduit fill for nipples depends on the specific circumstances of the installation. While the NEC allows a 60% fill for nipples connected to boxes or conduit bodies with conductors of number 4 or larger, standard fill percentages apply in other cases. Always consult the NEC and local regulations to ensure compliance and prioritize safety and proper installation practices. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it's always best to consult with a qualified electrician if you have any doubts or concerns. When determining conduit fill, several key concepts from the NEC come into play. Firstly, understanding the definition of a conduit nipple. According to the NEC, a conduit nipple is a short section of conduit not exceeding 24 inches in length. This definition is crucial because it establishes the applicability of the exception for higher fill percentages. Secondly, knowing the specific requirements outlined in NEC section 314.16a3. This section addresses the fill requirements for boxes and conduit bodies and provides the exception for nipples connected to these enclosures. It states that a nipple not exceeding 24 inches in length and containing conductors of sizes number 4 or larger can be filled up to 60% of its cross-sectional area. Thirdly, recognizing the standard fill percentages for conduits. These percentages, which are 53% for a single conductor, 31% for two conductors, and 40% for three or more conductors, apply to conduits that do not meet the definition of a nipple or that connect to equipment other than boxes or conduit bodies. It's also important to understand the concept of conductor cross-sectional area. This refers to the area of the conductor's insulation, including the conductor itself. The NEC provides tables that list the cross-sectional area of various conductor sizes and insulation types. These tables are essential for calculating the total cross-sectional area of the conductors in a conduit. To accurately calculate conduit fill, you need to use the appropriate conduit fill tables provided in the NEC. These tables list the maximum number of conductors of a given size and insulation type that can be installed in the specific size of conduit. The tables take into account the conductor's cross-sectional area, the conduit's internal area, and the applicable fill percentage. When using the conduit fill tables, it's important to select the correct table based on the type of conduit being used. The NEC provides separate tables for different conduit types, such as rigid metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, and flexible metal conduit. Each table reflects the specific internal dimensions and fill limitations of that conduit type. In addition to the NEC, local electrical codes and regulations may also affect conduit fill requirements. Some jurisdictions may have more stringent rules or interpretations of the NEC that further restrict the number of conductors allowed in a conduit. It's always advisable to consult with local electrical inspectors or authorities to ensure compliance with the prevailing regulations in your area. When planning an electrical installation, it's often beneficial to use conduit fill calculation software or online tools. These tools can automate the process of calculating conduit fill, taking into account the conductor size, insulation type, conduit type, and applicable fill percentages. They can also generate reports that document the conduit fill calculations for inspection purposes. Proper conduit fill is essential for the safe and reliable operation of an electrical system. Overfilling a conduit can lead to overheating of the conductors, which can damage the insulation and cause short circuits or fires. It can also make it difficult to pull wires through the conduit, increasing the risk of conductor damage during installation. In addition to safety concerns, proper conduit fill is also important for compliance with the NEC and local electrical codes. Electrical inspectors will typically check conduit fill during inspections to ensure that it meets the applicable requirements. Failure to comply with conduit fill regulations can result in costly rework and delays. Therefore, it's crucial to carefully calculate conduit fill and follow the NEC guidelines to ensure a safe, compliant, and reliable electrical installation. Remember that electrical work can be hazardous, and it's always best to consult with a qualified electrician if you have any doubts or concerns about conduit fill or any other aspect of electrical installations. They can provide expert advice and ensure that your electrical system is installed safely and correctly. Conduits are a vital part of electrical systems, providing protection and pathways for electrical conductors. Correctly calculating the fill capacity of these conduits is not just a matter of compliance, but it directly impacts the safety and efficiency of the electrical installation. Now, let's break down some misconceptions about conduit fill. Firstly, the idea that the 40% fill rule is universally applicable. While 40% is a common fill limit, especially for 3 or more conductors, it's not a blanket rule. As we discussed, the NEC allows for exceptions, particularly with short conduit nipples. Secondly, the belief that conduit size is the only factor. While the size of the conduit is crucial, conductor size, insulation type, and the number of conductors all play a significant role in determining the allowable fill. Thirdly, the assumption that using fewer conductors than the maximum listed in a table is always safe. Even if you're below the maximum, tightly packed conductors can still generate heat. It's always best to provide adequate space for heat dissipation. Let's explore some scenarios and how to approach them. Firstly, a short nipple connecting 2 junction boxes with number 6 THHN conductors. In this case, the 60% fill rule likely applies, but you still need to calculate the total cross-sectional area of the conductors to ensure you're within the limit. Secondly, a long conduit run with multiple bins containing number 12 THHN conductors. Here, the standard fill percentages apply, and you should consider upsizing the conduit to ease wire pulling and reduce the risk of damage. Thirdly, a conduit run in a hot air environment. In such cases, directing the ampacity of the conductors may be necessary, which could also affect the required conduit size. It's essential to stay updated with the latest edition of the NEC and any local amendments. The electrical codes are constantly evolving to address new technologies and safety concerns. Regularly reviewing these codes will help you stay informed and ensure your work is compliant. Remember, accurate conduit fill calculations are not just about following rules, it's about ensuring the longevity, safety, and efficiency of electrical systems. Taking the time to understand the NEC requirements and applying them correctly is a mark of a skilled and responsible electrician. If you ever find yourself unsure about a particular installation, don't hesitate to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. Their expertise can help you navigate complex situations and ensure that your work meets all applicable standards.